Hi there, this is Greg, the Masked Gamer, and today I am going to be doing a play of Ascendancy, a game by Matthew Meeple. I did not read the rules, but I did play like a tabletop simulator thingy of this like 2 years ago. We'll see how much I remember. Um, but because this little book that came with it was like, don't read the rules, just learn to play. We're just going to go on this journey together and see how it goes. For those of you who are new to my channel, this is a place for COVID cautious folks to talk about board games. You do not have to be COVID cautious in order to be here, provided there is no minimization, denialism, or harassment of any kind. With that said, I am here by myself today because there's fires everywhere. Not here, but everywhere else. I don't have to wear a mask. And this was not what I was planning on doing tonight. I was planning on playing role player adventures, but here we are. So I'm going to read the little bits of stuff that I did read before I started because, you know, I did try to cancel this. I failed to cancel it. I'm glad I didn't cancel it because I'm glad to support Matthew Meeple because this project, this game, is one of those clearly a labor of love sort of situations. And you can tell this when you hear from the creator right here. So, what you hold in your hands is a labor of love. See, he said it himself. That spanned a labor of love spanning 5 years of my life, the birth of 2 children, 6 throw it out and redo everything revisions, 10 major convention appearances. Hey boys, shush! Hey boys, shush! That's my dogs barking, who are being obnoxious. Over 20 artists and independent contributors, hundreds of playtests, thousands of spreadsheets and art assets. My soul is in this game. So, since your soul is in it, Matthew, I'm going to be in it with you. The original concept was simple. What if I took all of the fantasy video game and board game elements I love the most and mashed them all together into one epic game, including the kitchen sink? It doesn't say including the kitchen sink, but it should. I wanted it to have the depth of a classic PC turn-based strategy game from the 2000s with a ton of novel tabletop innovations built around a core worker placement mechanic that people already love. It was ambitious and frankly overwhelming, and at times the finish line seemed impossible, yet here we are. Along the way, there were countless opportunities to compromise, take a shortcut, or dumb it down to appeal to a wider audience. But Ascendancy was my dream game. I made it because I couldn't find anything else like it. It simply didn't exist, and I wanted it to exist. And now that it's my favorite game, I can finally say it was worth it. I love sincerity. That was sincere. Um, Next, what Ascendancy is. Ascendancy is a tabletop board game. This is a tabletop. It is a board game, but I do have a nice shiny neoprene mat instead because I got the all-in edition. Anywho, it's also the name of the world the game takes place in. It was designed by a crazy person who wanted to push the boundaries of progression in the tabletop format to the limit. At least he knows it. As the name implies, almost everything and everyone in Ascendancy can be upgraded and made more powerful. Victory or defeat is determined by how well you or your teammates adapt to unforeseen variables. The game rewards long-term strategic thinking, short-term tactical decisions, minimizing risk, pushing your luck, and outmaneuvering your rivals. That's great! It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that I'm terrible at. I can't wait. What to expect? Ascendancy is complex. It's a good thing I'm tired. If this is your first time playing, your initial setup can take well over an hour and you should budget your time accordingly. So come on this long journey with me, everyone. During your first few sessions, there will be details you won't fully understand yet. Whenever you get stuck, just keep playing. With more experience, the full picture will become clearer. Some players may absorb the rules quickly, but most will need more time. Try not to worry about strategy at first. Just take it slow and learn as you go. You may even have more fun that way. How to start playing. The tutorial is designed to be immediately playable without any prior knowledge. This book will make more sense after you've got an initial feel for the game. Don't read it until later. You won't need to read it until later, sure. Important, if this is your first game, switch to the tutorial scenario 0 and the other booklet now, and then come back here to continue with general setup. Read this book after your first game. You've also given me sleeves, which I'm probably not going to use because I'm one of those assholes. But anywho, all right. Here we go. Scenario booklet. Prologue, scenario 0. We've got some nice look. I mean, like you gotta give you got to give this credit because it's these tiny little books. There is just art and it just looks like love on almost every page of this thing. It really does. I have to hand it to you. Okay. 0, a sowing of seedlings, objective type tutorial, event card set, fully cooperative events, map side A, brown. These both look like A to me, and they both look brown to me. Yeah, I think it's this side of the map. Okay. 1 human, this should take 2 hours. You can play it with up to 4 humans, in which case it should be 3.5 hours. How fun. Overview. This tutorial scenario serves as an introduction to Ascendancy for new players. There are colored boxes which contain in-character dialogue. If you're playing in a group, nominate 1 player, I guess that's me, to read these aloud to the table on behalf of Belfry, your advisor. Bonus points for reading with a posh accent. Sorry, everyone, you're going to get a very posh accent from me. Find the iconography key at the back of the reference guide, and be sure to keep that's this. And be sure to keep that and the reference sheets close at hand if you don't understand something. These being reference sheets close at hand. Excellent. Okay. Don't worry about strategy for now. You don't need to remember or understand everything. Just do as Belfry insists and get your bearings. Your rewards are that you will learn to play and you will progress to mainline scenarios. Cool. Introduction. Salutations, Your Grace. Welcome to the storied realm of Ascendancy. I trust this letter finds you well and that the journey from your motherlands was without incident. My name is Belfry. I have been a trusted advisor to the great houses of Ascendancy since, well, for some time. Suffice it to say that I have served many inadequate sovereigns before, so you are in good hands with me. Due to our current distance, I cannot aid you in swordplay, although I am quite expert in all royal affairs and the occasional mana spell. Now then, kindly verify that your package contains all of the components listed on page 3 of the separate reference guide. Once finished, prepare to do exactly as I insist. I trust you understood the colorful pictures, Your Grace. Let us begin the tutorial, and we are just going to assume that we have everything it asks me to have. Scenario setup. First, open the separate reference guide and complete the general setup on pages 6 through 12 using map side A, brown, and then return to the scenario booklet for specific scenario setup. Okay, so central layout, we have placed the map in the center of the gaming area. This is actually a smaller map than I anticipated, and I am pleased about that. This will be this side for most scenarios, but the other side for specific scenarios that requested. I'm just going to turn this and the camera just a little bit to make it more what my facing is instead of what the camera facing is for my own sanity more than anything else. Okay, there we go. We will place the tall tracker tray next to the mat. I believe this is the tall tracker tray. Yes, this is the tall tracker tray. It even says it there. Let's we're gonna pop me on over to the upper left for this video, I think. That's okay. Then we have. That's weird. I'm like off the screen. Now I'm on the screen. There we go. That's better. Okay. But let's move this like this, and there we go. Place the 4 big district trays around the map. Their orientation doesn't matter. So these are the 4 district trays. Ooh. Now, we are not actually going to place these around the map because what I'm going to be doing during this video is I'm going to kind of hold up which one we're doing as we go. So I'm just going to put these all next to me on my left for now, and hopefully I don't knock my iPad off of... don't knock my iPad off of the table. District 1, the frontier. This is District 1, the frontier. We are going to shuffle all of the items with an... what am I reading here? We're going to shuffle all of the items with an X and place them in the top tray, and all of the items without an X and place them in the tray below. So I think that that is these. Hmm? Is that these? Items. I did a really good job with making sure I knew what I was looking at here, didn't I? There's event cards, which I think are these, and then there's items and scrap cards, which are these. Okay. So these must be the items and scrap cards. You're gonna get to watch me open so many plastic thingies today, which is something that I am just so absolutely terrible at doing. But that is what we're gonna do. So these are scrap metal, scrap metal, scrap metal, scrap metal. These all say scrap metals. These all say scrap on the back. So I guess it's, oh, they go face up. Okay. So we're going to take all of the ones with an X on it. Do I really have to shuffle these, Matthew, or can I just put them in there in the order that they're in? Because nobody wants to watch me shuffle stuff. And you see, now, here's the one thing. What it should have said was uh, do all of this setup stuff, then go to scenario 0, because in that case, I would have had all of this done before I started this video, and people would have been less bored watching me set it up. Although I guess this is good because it shows you, you know, just what you're getting into with this, because you're getting into quite a bit with Ascendancy. Just to be clear, the little pop-up that you're seeing from these trays, this is not an indication of what the construction of the game is like. Everything in my house warps very quickly. It's got a really weird, like humidity, not humidity, dryness, desert, heat, etc., makeup to it. So don't get concerned by that. We're gonna put that first pile of cards in there. And then we're gonna shuffle this other pile of cards, which I'm assuming are all ones without the X. It looks like that, yeah. I'm a sucker for organized game trays, and this is one of the things that really attracted me to Ascendancy in the first place, is just the fact that you can just like pass these things around that have everything you need, and maybe I'll be able to play this game without standing up like every other large game that I own where I stand up all the time. All right, I'm shuffling the ones without. I am obviously not doing the best shuffling of my life because I'm trying to do this somewhat quickly to get us up and running, but that's what we're doing. Okay, then we are going to shuffle the creature cards that are tier 1. These definitely look like creature cards. These are also, oh no, these are, we want tier 1 creature cards. This has tier 2 on the back, but I'm wondering, shit. But I'm wondering if that is going to have tier 1 in the front of it. And we're going to find that out in just a clock tick, or 12 clock ticks, and several clock ticks. There's going to be a few clock ticks. Okay, let's see. That's creature 2. Okay, those are creature 2s. These are creature 1s. I love the smell of new cards. Only they smelled like new cards forever. But they won't by tomorrow. And I'm assuming these are probably these are scenario cards. Scenario. So those are going to go out of the way. Now, and these are creature 2 cards, so we're probably going to need those in a second. So we are going to shuffle the tier 1 creature cards, and we are going to place them in this tray face down. And that's the first tray, and then the second tray is going to be for creature cards number 2. So that's creature cards number 1, and here is going to be creature card number 2. And creature cards number 2, you'll see the creature cards number 1 have a tiny little creature in it, so you can, even if you can't read Roman numeral numbers 1 and 2, which you should, I would hope, you can tell which ones are creature number 2 because they're bigger, scarier monsters. See, bigger, scarier monsters, bigger, scarier monsters. Okay, that is all that we are going to do for district number 1, the frontier. So we're going to take district number 1, the frontier, and we are going to put it somewhere. We're going to put that over here. Okay, then we are going to take District 2, the supply. Here is District 2, otherwise known as the supply. I hope these all fit on every one of them. We're going to place a starting stock of resource cubes into their corresponding sections and see page 10 for amounts. So we got to find these cubes firstly. And find these cubes. Those are meeples. Those are stackadoodles. These are acrylics. I don't know. These are vehicles. These are houses. Where's the cube? Here? Oh, found the cubes. Oh my goodness, so much stuff. So much stuff. So here are our supply cubes. So on page 10, we're going to see the amounts. And that is, we are playing as one human. So the icons below show the start and number of resource cubes of the supply determined by your number of human players and final decade duration. So how do I know what the final decade duration for this game is going to be? It's going to be 3. So we're going to put cubes based on final decade 3, is my understanding. So that's not a lot of cubes. So hold on. So it's just. So I guess it's just 2 on column 2 here, I guess. And ore is black. Oh, Matthew, I'm a little confused already. The cubes are big. They got nice big cubes. Big cubes. So we're putting 2 on each of these rows. Then we need blue, and we need. I wish this fit in here better, but again, that's a me problem, not a game design problem. Okay, we got blue ones, which are books. And we've got green ones, which are food. We've got food or skill and knowledge. Okay, back to page 6. We will remove unused cubes from the game. Then we will place all coins into the bank, which is this here. These definitely look like coins. They're cute little metal coins. Next to the banker, because it says, oh, oh, these feel so nice. These coins feel so nice. The coins feel so nice. The coins feel so nice. I think that there's like more expensive coins in there too. So these are the ones. Yeah, there are more expensive coins in there too. So those are the ones. These are the 3s. I don't know if there's larger ones that I just don't see yet, but we're putting the 3s in the back, the ones in the front. Okay, that's it for District 2, the supply. So we're going to pop District 2 over to the side here. Then we are going to pull out District 3, the Academy. Look, more stuff. Oh my goodness, we're going to take all this stuff out for now and see what we're putting in the Academy. We're going to shuffle all quest cards, which are square, and there should be a lot of those. We should have 34 of these. So this is House Valencia, House Cachestia, Quest. That's like this one. Okay. They did say you had to budget an hour of your time, so the whole first hour of this video is likely to be me setting up and shuffling cards. So I will endeavor to put timestamps in there somewhere. So these are not, that is definitely not 34 quests in that pile. So there must be another thing that has quests. Quests have these black backgrounds. This looks like it. Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ah, my gosh. Those quests. Okay. So we are going to shuffle these quests now. Ugh. I know all of the sleevers at home are like, why aren't you sleeving these cards? And I'll be like, do you want to watch me sleeve all of these cards? And they'll probably be like, I'd rather watch you sleeve all of these cards than watch you butcher them like this, especially when the art is so nice. I've lost my mind. It's been quite a busy day at work today. Thanks for asking. I'm going to place them in their tray, text side down. Now, this should be quicker on future games because most of this stuff I'm assuming will remain in these holes. So like, I mean, I guess you could reshuffle them, but you probably won't get through the whole thing in one game. So it should be quicker the next time I play it, I hope. All right, so that's going there. Then we are going to have monostone resources, which are white cubes. It looks like, and influence resources, which are purple cubes based on a thing again. So we're doing a 3-decade count, so it's going to be 2 white and 2 purple. It's 2 white monostones and 2 purple influence. Look, Jake, there's purple. Okay, then we're going to shuffle 6 mercenaries, which are these tall cards again. Oh my god. Okay, we're going to shuffle 6. These are war machines, mercenaries. That's not mercenaries. That's not mercenaries. Okay. So we're going to shuffle these mercenary cards, and they are going to go here. And then there are war machine cards, and they are going to go here. So that is location 3. That is location 3, the academy. And then finally, because 3 is not enough, we're going to move on to District 4, which is the Empire. And it looks like this is going to have much more things in it. We're going to have to sort some status tokens. Status tokens. That's more billets. That's something else. That's something else. That's something else. That's something else. Is this a punch board? This is the punch board. These are punch boards. So we're going to sort all of the status effect tokens into one section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There should be 9, 8, 9. Those look green. We're going to put all of the green ones into one section. So that's going to be here. Okay, and then we're going to do the same for the other colors. So next we have red. Red, 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 red. Red. At least they're each on separate sheets, so that makes it a little bit more manageable. Bum 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 bum. Yay, you get to watch me unbox a game, which normally is my favorite thing in the world to do, but trying to make sure that I'm being somewhat entertaining while I do it is causing me a little bit of stress and stress. Okay, so that's that, and then we will have the white ones, which will go in a different bucket. Classified, let's dude. And these will go Subdue, pacify. I can't tell from the pictures. It is. We're just gonna put those here. And then we will have, where did I put them? Oh boy, so much stuff. So much stuff. Then we will put these. I should make up a song to sing while punching things out, and then I could sing a song while I do this, and it would be less boring for you. But this is what happens when you do videos and something says just open it and play. Okay, there's blue, and then there's purple. I'm probably not going to use any of these things because I'll be overwhelmed. Okay, so those are the status tokens. We will shuffle the loot tokens by tier 1, and we will put them tray face down. Oh, I see. Okay. And that's these things, I think. I'm not sure. Ah, these are tier 3. Okay. Oh, these are tier 2. Oh, okay. Let's see how that looks. Oh, got uncommons. Ow. Let's see if I can cut my hand. Common. Common is how I feel. Ooh. Common. Common. Lots of commons. Somebody did warn on Discord that setting up the first game was quite the task, and yet I didn't pay attention. I was like, I'm just going to record this video, and it's going to be great. And that probably wasn't the smartest of ideas on my end. But hopefully you'll still like whatever it is you see here, and everybody will be happy. So here is the level 3s. Here is the start of the level 2s. Some more level 2s. Some more level 2s. And then we will also have a whole lot of level 1s. It's nice that you don't have to buy an insert though, because the game is the insert. This is one of the things that really attracted me to this, was the fact that everything has its place, and I like things to be organized, because if they're not, I'm messy and they end up all over the place, like everything else that you don't see on camera right now. That is already a complete mess and a disaster as I've been starting to sort through all this. So yeah. But that's okay. Okay, so we've got the loot tokens. Now we need the champion cards and the werecat werebear. So that is these. It does not say to shuffle them, so I won't. It does say to put the 2 fortifications face down. We will shuffle a number of event cards and place them in the event tray face down. We will see page 12 to determine what those are. All right, so those are going to be your scenario specify if it uses fully cooperative. Return the other bus and set. So this does say fully cooperative. Okay. And it says we will separate the 3. Oh, okay, this is a lot of stuff. All right, so we are going to mark our page here, firstly. We are going to take the event deck, and we are only going to take out the fully cooperative cards, which is probably going to be the only way this game ever gets played. Going to be mostly solo for in my house, because that's how it's going to be. Fully cooperative, fully cooperative, fully cooperative, fully cooperative, fully cooperative, fully cooperative. Competitive. competitive. And we will return the other set to the box. I don't know where it's going to go in the box. It's going to go over here. I'll try and forget to put the box later. So we're taking this. We're going to have to separate the cards based on the top left corner of each card. And then we are going to shuffle number together depending on your final decade. But what if it's decade 3? This is a 3-decade game, isn't it? So I looked at 3-decade games. The entire stack is decade. I guess we'll just do one of each. I guess we'll do one of each. I am not sure if that is correct, but that is how I'm going to do this. So I hope that that is right. So we're going to take one. And so this is just to make sure that you see a little bit of everything in the game, I think. But, or maybe I wasn't supposed to take any and I was just supposed to shuffle the whole thing. But we'll do one of each and then we'll shuffle the rest together. And we're going to do it like that. I hope this is correct. Now for the record, 3 decades is for teaching and learning, 4 to 5 decades is 1 hour per experienced player, a short normal game, 6 and 7 is a longer game, and 8 and 9 is an epic length game, which will be 2 or more hours per experienced player. So, yeah. Okay. We put those in there. Now, if your game includes Nemesis players, place their components here. It didn't say anything about that. Shuffle all available legacy reward cards and set aside 4 at random. Okay. Oh, are these legacy reward cards? I don't know. They have like an Ascendancy symbol on the back, so I don't think that's these. I don't think that's these. So maybe it's one of these. Maybe there's other cards in the box still. There's also like a hard copy of the board. Ooh, houses. I do not see something that says legacy on the back. These do say legacy on the front, so I'm assuming that's what they are, and it's just here they look like back things. We will draw and set 4 of these at random. Okay, so that is page 6. Ooh, this is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of stuff. Okay, it's here. We are going to put this final tray here. We are going to pick one of the house boards. I am, if I can find them, where are they? We are going to take the purple board for today. This is House Rasputin, because I like dark and stuff, and it's the closest thing. You're not going to be able to see that whole board in the game, but we're going to put it here so we can see at least a part of that. I dropped everything on the floor. I'm going to get so many, you should edit this video comments, and I'm going to be like, whatever. I'm going to be like, whatever, brah. You, whatever. Okay. So we've chosen a house board. We'll put this on the center for now so that we can see what we're doing with this. Place one of each of the following meeples in your color in the home slot. So first I need to find a bunch of purple meeples. Now, for some reason I don't fully understand all of the meeples are in separate bags instead of being all the colors in the same bag, but that is that. So we're going to put a purple worker meeple here and keep the other purple worker It looks like the other meeples are in this box. Then we will have one, we're going to have one of each color. So that is that. This is a priesty looking dude. I don't know what that is for. It doesn't match any of the symbols. So we're just going to put the purple ones here for now. We have, these are smarty looking people. So I guess that goes in the academy, if I'm correct. And those are called loyalists. We have, these are called outcasts. And they go in the first thing over here. And then I need a lord or a lady and a tier 1 mount. Right? I need a lord or a lady. These look like lords and ladies. Okay. Here's a lord and a lady. And a lord and a lady. And then I need to have a tier 1 mount, which I guess would be this little purple horse. That looks normalish. And that goes like that. And falls off. And that goes like that. Okay. So that is my lord and lady. I think there's other mounts in here, but I don't know. I'm just going to put that off to the side too. We have these little purple meeples, which we're going to hold over here. Now, what's next? Whew. We will, Chewy, excuse me. We will sort our tech cards, which are the little square cards. And so we need the purple ones of these. So we're going to take our House Respute tech cards, and we are going to put them into 4 stacks by type, shown in the top left corner faced up. Top left corner. Top left corner face up. Okay, these are 3 things that are different looking. So we have Spy Master. These don't really say. Well, I guess. Oh, it's by tier. So that's tier 3, tier 2, tier 1. I guess. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Now there should be 7. Yep, those have 7 of each. And then there should be 3 more here. So it's not the face up. Ah, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, okay. Next, we will sort all of the estate cards by type. So were these not estate cards? Oh, I think that's these. No, those are all purple things. Ow! I think I almost cut my finger in these guys. Those are blue. Those are blue. Those are red. Red. Green. So where's this other kind of stuff? Ah, found him. Okay. Hooey. Okay. I'm gonna be so wiped out when this is done that I'm gonna go to bed at like 7 o'clock. It's currently 6:17, just for reference. Okay, so I found this. Okay, found these house dispute cards. So we are going to sort them by type and also by tier. Highest tier on top, smallest tier on bottom, with no eye showing. Huh? Okay. Highest tier on top. No, highest tier on bottom. That's what I thought. Okay. So this is Empire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's 5 cards. That's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Four of the eyeball ones. 4 of these, 4 of these. Okay. We will put them on top of their type. We will place each finished stock covering the lower half of your board. So this will be the black market. This will be the maze. This will be the laboratory. And this will be the empire. And you'll see we just covered up some squares there, which will come into play later on. All right. Keep the following components in each storage tray. We will need 1 purple die. Where do they go in the storage tray? Oh, I think they mean this storage tray. Yeah, they mean this storage tray. So I'm gonna have to empty all this stuff out. So all right, let's so we're gonna need these purple castle-y things. 6 settlement minis. 2 brown battle dice. Dice. Oh, that's a green one. 2 brown battle dice. Ooh. 1 house color die, which is purple. Ooh. 1 tower. 2 walls. Renown tokens. And these should be 5, 2 5s, 3 2s, 2 5s, 3 2s, and 4 1s. But there's more than that. But that's what we'll put in there. Right. We will need 2 yellow stamina and 1 green munition. Those. Here is 2 yellow and 1 gray. And these are all things that I should have done before yet again. And then we have 8 damage counters. And all of the color things that I had left out before, so I already put those in there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my little stash of stuff. And so when I have this set up better in the future, each color will already have their stuff in there. Okay, so that's that. Then we will fetch starting coins and resource cubes as shown on your house board. They should be taken from the unused cubes, not the stock. So I need 2 coins. I need 1 green cube for food. 1 black cube for ore. And 1 purple cube for influence. I think that's what it is. Okay. Then I will choose a starting hex for each player and place them onto that hex. So we're gonna, ooh, shoot, that's not right. We are going to put our little setup over here. We are going to pick a spot and put us there. I guess that's my mini. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea which of these minis is going to represent me, if I'm being honest. So, which one of these looks like Rasputin? Oh, I don't know. Uh, uh, choose starting then. Um, I don't do. Let's hold off on that for a second. So we are going to put an on-color embarkment location tile. So that's this, and we're just going to start right here. I guess that's a starting hex. Let me double check. 92. Page 92, starting hexes. Oh, no, they're in certain spots of the board. So we'll start here. We will, yep, we'll start there. We will fetch the following, which is one on-color tier 1 settlement mini to denote your capital. 26. 20, 26. 26. Oh, this page, this would help. So that is this. This is my capital. And then an avatar mini or standee on a color base. So basically all that I guess I do is I take this little purple base and I'm going to be like, oh, this is me. So I'm going to take this purple base and I'm just going to choose which of these I think is me. And that's going to be this thing here. Nope, definitely not that because it's too small for the purple base. Ah, these are smaller bases. So we're going to take a purple base and here, we're just going to say that's me. I'm a wizardy type person with a dagger. Cool. All right. So that's me. Great. Then we will place one random loot token face down on each empty hex, the ones that don't have tiles. Common on outer, uncommon on middle, rare on the center. So, where did I put all that stuff? That's a good question. Where indeed? Okay, that's here. So we're going to put common ones all around the outside. Common, 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 common. Ugh. Common, 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 common. Then the next ring is going to get uncommon, 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 uncommon. And then finally, we will put a rare in the middle. Okay, so we've done that. We will shuffle the 15 named location tiles, 3 per color. We will not include quest or embarkment tiles and face them face down in the lower left-hand corner of the map. So it is no quest, no embarkment. Okay? No, those are not named. Isofar! I love the Isofarian Guard. The Isofarian Guard was my number 2 game um, of the year last year. Okay, think that's what they want. We will find out. if it shuffles out well. So there should be 15 of these according to this setup. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Excellent. So that's right. We're going to shuffle that all up and we're going to put these on the bottom left hand corner of our board. Oh, okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost there. That's what she said. All right, that is 15 tiles there. The tracker, we will place the brown current decade stacker on decade 1. And this is brown, so this goes on decade 1. We will place the pink final decade sticker as per the scenario instructions, and we already know that was 3 because we looked at that. We will start with the youngest player, that's me. We will place stackers matching our house color on loyalty and upkeep. So we're going to get a purple on loyalty and a purple on upkeep. Then we will, in the same order, place one house colored stacker on each of the 3 skill types for each player using the starting skill values shown on their house board. So for me, that is one eyeball and 2 brains. So 1 eyeball and 2 brain. Okay. Next page. Next page. Yo, I think we're set up. Woo! That took 51 minutes. Book told truths. Okay. Scenario setup. We are going to place the following components on the top center hex of the map. The yellow embarkment tile, which I think this looks yellow. I'm going to take, yeah, I think this is yellow. We are going to place this on the top center hex of the map. I'm not sure if that means anything for that reward token, so we're just going to leave it there. 1 tier yellow settlement there. I guess this is going to be our NPC opponent. And 1 nemesis avatar with a yellow base. Let's take this guy with the cat. I'm not sure if this is the right one. It's just what we're doing. Nemesis. And I gave them the bigger one instead of the little one to make him scary looking. But got a cat. Got another cat. We're going to call this cat Tink after my friend Renee's cat. Yep. Okay. So we've done that. On the tracker, we will place yellow stackers on 0 loyalty. We're Belfry. And then we will place another on each of his skills as follows. Oh, he's stronger than me. He's going to have 3 cunning, 2 might, and 4 intellect. 3 cunning, 2 might, and 4 intellect. And I like that you can actually see the colors on my screen. That's nice. Okay. Note that Nemesis players like Belfry do not use the upkeep track. Good for them. Oh, we're going to fetch 1 quest and place it in the center of the map. Quests. Quest. Okay. On the decade track, we will place pink on 3, which we already did. We will fetch each of these yellow worker meeples. We will have the yellow level 1 mount here. We will have a yellow, I forget what we call this, but it's a Hattie person. We will have a yellow outcast. Doesn't say where to put them, so I'm just fetching. We will have a yellow lord. And this is the one that goes on the little horsey. Ugh. I love the horsies are cute, but the guys, they just fall off the horsies. Okay, and so which one are we missing? We're missing the yellow laborer with the shovel. Okay, so that's our yellow thingies. We are going to find the Arc Advisor envelope here. This is the Arc Advisor envelope, and we're going to just put that here for now. We are going to get a yellow die from the little die bag. Okay, we are going to have the remaining yellow settlement minis close to the map. They kind of are, or the tracker. We will not open any of those sealed components until told to do so. All right. Whew. Decade 1. Here we go. Decade 1, 55 minutes. We're going to write that down somewhere so that I can be useful. That I can be useful later on. At 55 minutes, we will be starting Decade 1. So timestamps will exist. Okay. Next. Each full round of Ascendancy is 1 decade, so we're going to do 3 full rounds of the game. You have 2 objectives, Your Grace, if you can manage. First, you must establish 1 new permanent settlement. Second, you must traverse this vast continent and meet me at the quest location. You shall have 3 full decades to complete these simple objectives. A decade of Ascendancy consists of 4 phases of worker placement, each represented with a district tray. All of the players, human and nemesis, will take turns placing and resolving actions during each phase. There's a blue box with a picture of our friend Matthew Meeple, who designed this project, but in a cartoonish form. It says, "Hello! Whenever you see a blue box, I'll be here to explain something important, i.e. game control players like Belfry are referred to as nemesis, regardless of whether they are your ally or your enemy." Belfry says, "I would advise against listening to his advice, Your Grace. Most scholars agree that nemesis are superior. We do not meander in analysis paralysis. Unlike humans, we act decisively." That's pretty hilarious. Nice job, Matt. Can I call you Matt? Matthew Meeple, can I call you Matt? I'm going to call you Matt. Standard nemesis place all of their workers at the beginning of the decade before human players begin their turns. Nemesis placement setup. We are going to roll the yellow die on behalf of Belfry. He has rolled a 2. Then we are going to place his outcast, which is this one that has a little helmety thing, in the action slot in District 1, the Frontier, that matches that result. So we rolled a 2 on that die, and he's going to go into this little 2 spot, taking it up. We don't know what that does yet, but sure. We're going to do this again for Belfry's Laborer, who has rolled a 3. The Laborer is the one with the shovel, and that's going to go in slot 3 over here. Oh darn! I feel like that's the one that I like. I don't remember why, but I feel like it is. And then we're going to do it again for the Loyalist, who has rolled a 1, and will go in number 1 on the Academy here. And then we have finally, we will roll it for the Mount. This works differently than the others. See next steps. Okay, so we're going to roll this. That was a 3. It says if the last die result was not a 6, Belfry will magically change the die result to a 6. Oh look, the die magically changed to a 6. Oh, I have a dice tray. Insert the die itself directly into the empty slot in District 4, the Empire, in the slot labeled Nemesis Target Hex. So instead of going where we put it before, it's going to go into this little slot here where it's going to say 6. Yeah. Apologies for the abrupt change of direction, Your Grace. I am simply preparing to personally welcome you. With the target hex die finalized at 6, Place Belfry's Lord and Lady astride his mount into the Move Adventure slot in District 4 in the Empire. So this goes here. Yeah. Oh, so this fits the horsey here like this. And you'll see, I see on my sideboard the wonderful warping of my house had already knocked my person off of his horse. So, for anyone who lives in a dry or a moist, a particularly dry or moist environment, you are going to have some challenges with these boards, unfortunately. Okay. Now that all of my workers are placed, you will learn how to place your workers next. Phase 1. Jesus criminy, the frontier. Your house board over here is divided into 4 columns. So we have 4 columns on our house board. This meeple is just not gonna stay on there. It's just not gonna happen. It's just gonna keep falling off, and that makes me sad. Okay, so this is our house board. Oh, okay. Each column corresponds with a phase in a district flowing from left to right. Starting with our leftmost column, phase 1, and district 1, which is off camera right now, the frontier. Belfry insists. I guess we have to do whatever Belfry says. Belfry insists to reveal a creature. So this is going to be the frontier board. I'm going to hold this up here. Let us direct your outcasts first. This hooded worker represents hundreds, not one, but hundreds of lowly souls on the fringes of society. They are castaways and ne'er-do-wells, your grace. Pity them not. As your lowest ranking worker, an outcast can only perform the most simplistic of actions. Still, their particular brand of services may prove necessary for your cause. Human worker placement. Belfry insists. He's such a douche. Each human player must take their outcast from its house on their board and place it in or near the Reveal 1 action slot on the frontier tray. For now, we will ignore slot limitations and turn order. So this is going to go into this Reveal slot over here. Action slots usually support a limited number of workers, your grace. For the purpose of this exercise, I have made special arrangements with the districts to allow everyone to visit the same slot. Don't thank me. It's clear we will need all the help you can get. Matt. Thanks, Matt, for talking to me. Think of your upcoming reveal action as a preemptive safety measure. By revealing an enemy type before battle, you can anoint a champion with the best chance of defeating it. Choosing the reveal action may result in slower progress compared to other options, but it reduces risk, which can be a sound strategy. Now, Matt, I don't remember what you sound like from when I heard you talk, but you're sounding like a stoner in my videos, and that's just how it's going to work. For this decade only, each player can place their workers on the same action slot. So if I do teach this game to somebody, obviously I'm going to have to roll through this entire thing again. That's going to be a lot of fun. But, I mean, I'm used to that. I am the game master at my house. Action resolution step phase 1. Belfry insists to resolve your reveal. Each human player will draw a tier 1 creature from the frontier and flip it face up. I'm going to put this down while I do this so that we can do the rest of this where we're supposed to. Okay. So we're going to reveal this creature face up, and then we will deploy their creature. So this is a giant locust. How pretty. We are going to deploy our creature by placing it in the crown-shaped section at the top of their house board, known as the encounter zone. We will use slot 3, the enemy front row. So it's going to be a little bit off camera, but it is what it is. And you'll see, but you can see here that like there's these spots that like things can very easily get slotted into, and so this is going into slot 3. We're going to barely see it. We're also going to barely see slot 4, but that's how this game's going to roll. Nemesis resolution. Nemesis players like Belfry don't benefit from actions in phases 1 to 3 the same way that humans do. If any effect in the game would have a Nemesis player gain coins, resources, loot, cards, or any other assets, they immediately discard them. They just go straight away. For now, however, you can simply ignore Belfry's action. So Belfry is just not going to do anything. That's good, because he's big and scary. And he's a little obnoxious. Moving on to phase 2. We will leave all placed outcasts in the frontier for now. After all players have resolved their actions, we will move on to phase 2. Phase 2, the supply. This one's really falling apart. I feel like I'm going to need to try to glue these things down somehow, because that's just popping up all over the place. But here is the supply. You've made it to phase 2 to the second phase of your first decade. Quite the achievement, Your Grace. Here in the supply, your laborer can claim valuable resources to help you expand your fledgling empire. Laborers, that's these guys with the shovels, are the unwashed but able-bodied who lack the formal education required to grasp the futile nature of their drudgery. They dream of ascending to a better life, education, and opportunity. But the Taskmaster's whip should clarify any misunderstandings until this time. Belfry insists that we claim a resource. Each player must take their laborer from its home on their home board and place it into any of the 4 resource action slots in the supply. Any will do. We'll put ourselves under knowledge. It says ignore slot limitations in turn order. Human players will claim 1 resource cube from the top row of the stock. That's here. And add it to their tableau anywhere on or around their board. And then I'm going to put my stock over here so that you at home can see what I'm working with. Okay. Then, if Belfry's laborer is placed in a resource slot, and he is, we'll take 1 cube of that kind and discard it to the big section in the upper part of the tray. So this red cube is not going to be able to get claimed anymore. How very sad. That's it. That's it for the supply phase. Okay. Now we will move on to phase 3, the Academy. The Royal Academy is strictly off limits to rabble. As an institute of higher learning, its actions require more brain power than the previous districts, Your Grace. Rather than risk straining yourself, let us make use of your trusted loyalist in their cute little cap. Loyalists are upstanding pillars of your society. They can perform most tasks, often with greater effectiveness than their lower-class counterparts, but more on that later. Belfry insists each player must take their loyalist from its home and place it into either the quest or the monostone slot in the academy. For now, we will ignore all slot limitations in order. I'm going to actually put it in. I'm going to put it in the monostone spot because Belfry is hanging out in the quest spot. I know I'm allowed to do that, but I'm just going to do what I'm doing here. Now, if I chose quest, which I didn't, I would draw the top 2 quest cards, choose 1 to add face up to your tableau on either side of your house board, and then discard the other to the bottom of the stack. Belfry says, quests can be completed at any time, Your Grace. Don't worry about completing this one yet. You'll work it out eventually. For now, let us proceed. I, however, chose a monostone. Because I chose a monostone, I will claim 1 monostone from the stock, place it on the monobank of my house in the charged section, and that is on the top of this academy portion. You can only barely see it, but you kind of can. But it's there. On your only your first monostone of each game adds +1 upkeep burden. We have to move our stacker up 1 on upkeep. That sucks. Yep. So that's great. Only your first will do that. So if I get a second monostone, it doesn't do that. I really am going to have to do something about these boards. They are warping all over the place. Geez, they're really warping. Okay. Next. I think next. Yep, phase 4, the Empire. The 4th, and Matthew Meeple, Lord Belfry fell off of his horse as usual. There must be a better way to keep these on these horses. I don't know what it is. The 4th and final Empire phase includes map and battle actions. Only nobles, such as the lords or somebody else who looks like a bishop that we haven't quite seen, can act here along with their mounts. As the highest social class, your nobles can perform almost any action in the game. Leverage them wisely. Journey closer now, Your Grace, towards the quest location at the center. Human player insists. Human player, Belfry insists. Each player must take their mount from its home and place it into a move action slot. So this is going to go here with the little lord on it. It's going to go here, and this is all such a mess. Okay, they're just going to fall. Going to fall all over. They fell. Each person must also place their lord lady astride the horse to partake in the adventure action. So we're going to put that back down, and we're going to try again to put our meeples on top of these horses without them falling. Let them fall. Action resolution step stage 4. Move and adventure are separate actions which share the same set of action slots. Move requires a mount. Adventure requires a noble. You may choose to resolve only one or both of them in either order, but let's resolve move first. Since Belfry is in the first move slot, he will resolve his move and adventure first before any human players. In order to resolve Belfry's move, we're going to check his yellow die result, which is a 6, because he made us turn into a 6. And this shows the target hex of 6 on the board down here. We will discard the loot token. So we're going to discard the loot token on Belfry's target hex by returning it to the Empire tray face down. That's because the Nemesis doesn't get loot, I'm assuming. Then we will draw one location tile from the location stack, and we will place it face up on the target hex. That is going to be Gladevale. Okay, so that goes there. With the new location on the map, we will move Belfry's avatar there. It ignores all mountains, which are these rockety shaped things, and so Belfry is going to move over there. We will we will fetch one of Belfry's settlements and immediately place it on the target hex with his avatar. So he just gets to place a settlement wherever he goes. And finally, we will advance his loyalty on the tracker by the amount printed on his newly settled location. So his newly settled location. It says 3 for tier 1. So this is going to advance 3 on the track. So he's going to go all the way from 0 to 3. So he's winning, apparently. I mean, it's cooperative, so I guess it doesn't matter, but whatever. The tier 1 loyalty is the leftmost white digit. Yep, we found that. Okay. Human player resolution. Thanks, Matt. To help speed things up, each player can resolve their move adventure simultaneously for now, but not in the future. Got it, brah. Okay. I did not choose the standee that it has on this picture. I don't care. All right. Each person must choose a target hex. For this exercise, choose the one diagonally towards the quest at the center of the map. So I'm going to have to choose this quest. I must pay 1 food for my move by taking a food from my tableau and spending it to the resource discard section of the supply. Unlike us nemesis, you humans must pay any food costs printed between hexes whenever you move. Without food, you won't be going anywhere. Next, I will claim the loot token from my target hex by adding it to my tableau face down and still hidden, unidentified, so I don't get to see what I picked up. I will draw 2 location tiles from the draw stack, 1 for move plus 1 for adventure, which we haven't really gotten to the details yet, but sure. I will pick 1 to place on my target hex and discard the other face down to the opposite corner of the map from the draw stack. So I have a choice between Jungali and Azurfall. I really don't understand much of anything about these, but I do see a brain symbol on Azurfall, and since I know that I have high brain, I'm going to assume that's going to be the better one for me. So I'm going to put that at the newly placed location and move myself there. About loyalty modifiers. To help you decide which tile to place, consider the potential loyalty value. For example, Woodholm provides 1 loyal. It's a bunch of stuff here. It says that you could get a base of loyalty at a certain tier, but you would have a negative based on anything that is next to or attached to your space. when connected to a. So this one would give me 1 loyalty. This one would give me 3 loyalty, but -1 because I'm next to a purple, which is my color, but that's still 2, which is a higher value. So I am going to go ahead and take that 2 loyalty. It wants me to choose one. It wants me to. So I think, do I advance the loyalty now? It doesn't say it. Potential loyalty value. I'm connected to a red and total loyalty. Oh, you get loyalty for settling it, and I haven't settled it yet. Okay. I need to unlock a settlement token in order to settle. More on that later. Okay. Belfry insists that I must resolve a skill check. If I placed a mount without a rider, I would only move the avatar. By adding an adventure with the Lord, I also get a choice. I get to choose which of the 2 things to place, as well as a skill check attempt to test my might, cunning, or intellect. So I know. So I went to one where I have my might, my intellect, which is my better skill. So that's the thing I can test. So I am going to roll my everything's falling. I'm going to roll my die, and then I get to add to my results based on the skill value I have, and I have 2 intellect. So that's 3 plus 2 is 5, I believe. I will compare my results against the possible outcomes. If I meet either or succeed either value, I will gain those immediately. So on a roll of 4 plus, it says book. On a roll of 8 plus, I would say, and I may identify a something something. You can spend a skill resource to gain an immediate permanent +1 to any of your skills. You can even spend it after you try the roll before the thing's final, but I do not have a skill. But I get +1 book, so I get to take. Now, does this knowledge come from the supply, or from the supply area, or from off of the board? Is my question. Belfry says, "A valiant effort, Your Grace. I promise I'm not laughing. As you can see, some challenges will be easier for you than others." Now, I need to see what that means. So I'm going to check this reference book because I'm not sure. That's a little unclear to me. This is a little unclear. So this is Adventure Resolution. Adventure Resolution. Adventure Resolution. It's a bunch of combat stuff. Items. Here. Gameplay, concepts, battle. I'm gonna just see if I can find something that's gonna answer this question. I don't think I will. Gosh, this book is intense. Buildings. No, 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 no. Not a quest. It's a skill check. It's a skill check for moving. I'm not at battle yet. Oh my gosh. Is my name in the back here? I think it is. I don't see it. I think I put in enough money to do that. No. Oh my gosh. This is all in impossible alphabetical order. Not in that list. Not in that list. Yeah, I don't see myself. I'll look through it later, maybe. Oh, there's more pages here. That's why. I would have definitely put myself in House Respute, but my name is not there. So no. Maybe I ended up someplace else. I don't remember any of this. Okay. Now. Ah, the map and locations. Nope. Tech categories, tech tree. Skill checks. Skill checks. It's perks. Skill checks. Go to player die. Check. You get the benefits immediately. It still doesn't say. So I'm gonna just say that I get to take it from the supply so we can move on. I mean from like the out of game supply. Now I'm not sure if that's supposed to come from there or the actual supply step, but I gain a book because I passed the thing and we're gonna move on. Sorry about that. Decade end step. Our first decade is nearly over. Despite the court gossip, I had no doubt you would remain in power. Well done, Your Grace. Now, to reap the fruits of your grand accomplishments, turn your attention to the tracker. The two long middle lines represent your loyalty, which you should always be growing. The right side is your upkeep, which you must manage carefully. We will calculate the income for each human player based on their loyalty score, in this case 0. We will then subtract the upkeep costs, which is -1. Income is gained from the bank. You never have to pay money during this step. Even if your upkeep is higher than your loyalty, any negative income just becomes 0. That's nice. Thank you for that. Worry not, Your Grace. We will soon increase your loyalty by constructing buildings, settling, and even destroying your rivals. Recurring skill perks. Once all players sort out their income, we move on to recurring skill perks, the ones with a looks like an hourglass icon found on the skill wheel portion of the tracker. Any human players with 4 or more intellect, that's me, may identify one of their loot tokens by flipping it over to gain the benefit. It says take, I think that means take 1 item and 1 coin, but I'm going to wait a second on that. If you have 4 or more might, you may restore 1 to a wound in combat, or if you have 4 or 1 cunning, you may peek at the top card of the event stack and choose to discard it or leave it. Skill issue, Your Grace? My advice is to get good. Okay, so I think that means I take the top item from one of these things. I'll take the peace pipe because, sure, and I get 1 coin. And I believe that's what happens there, and we're just going to keep forging onwards because that is how we are playing this game for now. Then, step C, the coronation ceremony. Now that the ledges are settled, it's time for the decennial ceremony of the crown, in which we bestow upon the player with the highest loyalty. That would be me. However, in fully cooperative scenarios like this one, Nemesis players are ineligible for the crown. That means you will have to do. Worry not, Your Grace. Expectations for your performance are low. Thanks. Belfry insists. The crown must draw the top event card, establish it face up, read it out loud to the table. In fully cooperative events, the crown must nominate a player to roll a skill check, but for the purpose of this tutorial, just ignore it for now. So this is an active sacrifice, heroic sacrifice. Each human player must permanently sacrifice any one worker. Well, that's rude. If the event is an act of dissent, the standard nemesis such as Belfry will immediately gain +1 loyalty. But it's not an act of dissent, it is an act of sacrifice. And yeah. So does that happen now? It just says to read it aloud. So I don't think it happens now. Does it happen now? I don't know. I don't feel like I should discard that worker. Oh. It just says establish it and read it aloud. So I think that means it doesn't happen yet. And I'm going to just hope that means it doesn't happen yet. Finishing the first decade. Finish up, recollect all placed workers and return them to the home slots on their house board. So I'm going to take my purple mount and put it back here where it's going to fall down. I'm going to take my purple loyalist and put it here where it can barely fit. This dude and this dude. So we're going to put those all back there. We can keep the yellow near their respective districts. So we'll just take them and put them just outside. Oh, this one's really important. And then we will advance the brown decade tracker to decade 2. It says, now is a good time to take a break. Whenever you're ready, you may begin the next decade. We are not going to take a break, but we are going to note that decade 2 is going to start at 1 hour and 25 minutes into this video. 7:02 p.m. I will not be going to bed by 7, but I will be going to bed after that. All right. Turning to the next. He looks about as tired as I feel today. That's not because of this game, that's because of my life. Okay. Decade 2, Nemesis Placement Step. Belfry insists, I promise not to interfere with the dice this time. Why should I? All is going according to plan. We will roll the yellow die for each of the Belfry's workers and place them on the corresponding action slots in districts 1 to 3. So first, I have rolled a 6, so this guy is going to go into the patron area over here. Then I have rolled a 4, so this is going to go into the knowledge area over here. Then I have rolled a 6, wow. So this is going to go into the patron area here. And then when I roll the final die, if the result was not 6, Belfry once again magically changes it to 6. So what we've just learned is Belfry is a dirty liar. Dirty liar Belfry. Okay. Phases 1 to 3. What's this? You've spent 10 years ruling and you still require assistance? Very well, Your Grace. However, I insist that you make your own decisions from now on. Before you do something reckless, there are several things you still need to know. Action slot limitations. Each district action has a limited number of available slots. When all of those slots are occupied, no more workers can be placed there. Action slot bonuses. Some actions that have multiple slots, like Patron and Build, will grant a discount or bonus on the first slot, but not for the second slot. A -1 indicates that part of the action cost indicates that part of an action cost is already paid. See the reference guide, blah, blah, blah. Worker placement. You can place multiple workers during the same phase. Each worker can only act on districts of equal or lower tier to itself. Laborers can act during the frontier, but outcasts cannot act during the supply. Higher tier workers can oust and replace lower tier workers. See page 22 of the reference guide for full placement rules. Matthew says, using a higher tiered worker for a lower tier action is a more advanced strategy. Consider placing your workers in their matching districts for now. Should we know all of, is that? I don't know if I'm supposed to just keep going or, I think I'm supposed to keep going. It says something about build, but I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm supposed to be reading all this or not. I'm going to just read it. Build. As a distinguished patron of the arts, fine craftsmanship is an endeavor worthy of my time. Elegance, form, function, building is a task befitting the finest artisans of Ascendancy. I suppose you can try it too, Your Grace. Buildings, which are here, are cards that can be found on top of the first 3 columns of your house board. When you build, you will establish them as a permanent new option for the patron action of their corresponding district. Each human player must resolve 1 build action this decade. Build is available during phases 1, 2, or 3. So during the worker placement phase that you wish to build in, you will place a worker in the build slot for that district. Note the requirements at the top of your building card, which have skill sets needed and then like money costs needed. All buildings have a minimum skill value and cost either ore or a monostone activation. If you do not have the required skill, you will need to spend a skill resource to permanently increase it. Your worker can claim skill free during the supply phase, but each slot here is limited to 1. Build is the primary way to earn loyalty. Unlock new tech cards, workers, and champions. Even the peasantry can build, Your Grace. You will manage. Another thing you can do, instead of placing a worker, you can buy resources from districts as an instant action. Paying coins for resources is fast but more costly compared to using a worker. You can buy and sell prices will vary depending on the topmost row of the stock shown on the left-hand side of the supply. So, okay. So, like, okay, so for example, I can sell something because there's still things in the second row. I can sell everything for 1 or buy anything for 2, but those costs will change on the row after that. So I think what that's telling me. To buy a skill or an ore, you would pay 2 to the bank, then take 1 from the top row, and that could be an instant action, not during the specific phase. You can similarly buy monastones from the academy. These cost other resources other than coins. Have you made a mistake, your grace? Fear not, you are only human. If ever you wish to undo a buy, sell, or other action, you may do so. Just make sure it doesn't affect anyone else. Okay. So, resolving your build. If your chosen building requires ore, you would spend it and discard it. If your chosen... this is confusing me. If your chosen building requires ore, you would spend it to the discard section of the supply. If your chosen building requires a monostone, you would activate it now by moving it from charged to depleted. Be sure you have the required skill for your building. If not, you'll need to spend 1 skill as an instant action to raise it. Once all the costs are paid, you will slide. Let's, how do I want to do this? I'm going to just kind of say that I'm going to build a maze, because it's the open thing over here. So I'm just going to say that in the frontier phase, I'm going to, I've already done a thing there. I'm just going to, we're just going to put myself on the little item thing, and I might change that later so that I can put this supply dude on the build phase and on that second thing, and we'll figure that out as we get there. Is build, so can I build from anywhere? I'm assuming the maze has to be built from the second spot, and so on and so forth, but maybe I'm incorrect. You place a worker in the build slot for that district. During the worker placement phase, you wish to build it. Notice the requirements at the top of your building card. Right. Your chosen building requires ore, so mine requires 2 ore, but I only have 1 ore, but I get a -1 discount. So I'm going to put this 1 ore here. I have 1 fight, so I can do that. I will slide the entire stack of cards up, revealing 1 row of tech at the bottom. I will gain +1 loyalty and +1 upkeep. Oh, that's purple. +1 loyalty, +1 upkeep. I will flip my building card to its action side and establish it as a new patron option in the right-hand corner of the corresponding district or next to the tray. So I guess that goes here. I can relocate another player's avatar to a connected location within one space of their avatar is what it looks like that says. I'm not sure if that's what that says, but yeah, we're gonna keep going. Players may patron any established location, however, its controller may require a rival human to pay them 1 coin for services rendered. Human player insists placement and resolution phases 1 to 3. Belfry insists. Eager as you may be for more haphazard placements, you'll need to actually follow the rules from now on. Each player must place their workers in turn order. Playthrough phases 1 to 3 only. Placing and resolving actions do not proceed to phase 4 yet. Ensure that each human player resolves at least 1 build action. Turn order is determined by loyalty in reverse. The human player with the lowest loyalty places their worker first, the highest stack last, so there can be no ties. Turn order placement. Nemesis players on standard difficulty place all of their workers before all humans. In the above example, the yellow Nemesis has less loyalty than the blue, so yellow goes first, then blue, next green, and finally red. Not sure what to do this decade? Try preparing yourself for an upcoming battle. The creature you revealed in your encounter is one of 3 types. Since you can see your enemy's type, you can pick a building champion with the most favorable matchup. Check out the combat triangle on the back of the reference guide. Keep this rock, paper, scissors thing in account. So might is better than cunning, and I picked a might column with a cunning thing, so I did what I was supposed to do. I don't know what this item thing does here. And I don't know what this other thing does here, but I'm gonna go ahead and take another influence. No, I'll take a quest because we had a thing with quests before. I had revealed a monster. I had done that. I think item means I just get to take an item. Draw the top battle or utility item. Yeah, so I'm just going to take the top battle one because I had a utility one, so now I have whatever that is as well. And then the third one, I went with quest. I did build, so I did the build properly, and then I did quest. I draw 2 quests and keep one. So I'm going to draw 2 quests. This says to defeat or discard a green creature, and I have a green creature there, so that is going to be the one that I take. I'm going to put the other one back on the bottom because, all right. Invest resources. Invest resources. It's time you invest in your future. If your ability to grasp the finer points of empire building is any indication, you should excel at picking up wooden cubes and dropping them into matching colored slots, Your Grace. Your established building will provide access to one royal family member who oversees that column of your estate. Their names and portraits are shown at the bottom of your house board. So this is the Ravager, the Way of the Ravager. Investing 1 food will permanently provide them with the means to deploy and lead your efforts in the battlefield as a champion of your cause. Belfry insists that you invest 1 food into the empty green slot at the bottom of your house board. If you don't have 1 food, you will buy it from the supply, with the current cost should be 2. So I must buy this food in order to invest this. Fetch champion. Next, thumb through the stack of champion cards in the District 4 tray and fetch your corresponding champion by name. So I am looking for the Ravager. Deploy champion. Immediately deploy the champion to your front row slot of your encounter zone, which is this. And then you will place 1 small yellow tracker cube on your thing per round stamina thing. And it has. Oh, we do. Oh, I think we do. 4 per round. Okay. We will gain upkeep. We will move our stacker up 1 more on the upkeep track. Each hero I have and most other combat unit cards will burden you with 1 or more upkeep. So my upkeep is very high. Conquer. Whew! To arms, Your Grace! Conquer is a glorious tactical contest where the local denizens are all that stand between you and inevitable expansion. Yes, as natives they were here first, but do not let such trivialities sway you from delivering your righteous judgment. For nemesis such as myself, expansion is simple as rolling my magic die. You, however, will have to earn your new settlement by ascending your empire. If you are victorious in battle, you shall earn renown, which is needed to ascend your empire stack and unlock the territorial right to a new settlement. There are several other ways to gain renown and expand your empire without bloodshed, such as by completing quests, but for now it's best to just do as Belfry insists. Belfry insists. Each hero must take their lord or lady from its home on their board and place it into the Conquer action slot in the Empire. Get in there. While you can normally move and conquer during the same decade, human players should not place mounts and do not move this decade. So the mount could have gone somewhere else. Battle with wild creatures is unrelated to your avatar's position on the map. It occurs in your encounter zone, which represents the conceptual outskirts of your empire, which is over there. All players perform the action resolution step. Belfry must resolve his move adventure action first, because move adventure comes before conquer in the resolution turn order. This will result in Belfry moving to the center of the map. Since the quest location tile is already placed there and the quest tile can never be settled, you only need to move his avatar. So he's at the middle of the board now. He keeps falling. Okay. Next, each human player will resolve their conquer action simultaneously following the upcoming steps. Here we go. Conquer requires at least one creature in your encounter zone, which we have. You can either reveal it preemptively, which we did do in Decade 1, or we can draw a surprise monster right before the battle. Checking initiative. First, you will check the initiative value for each combat unit in your encounter zone. The highest initiative gets to attack first, then the next highest, and so on. So my initiative is 2, and that thing's initiative is 4. So the giant locust is going to attack first. After each unit takes their initiative, that round ends and the next round can begin. Initiative ties go to the defending side. When you conquer, you are initiating and creatures are defending, therefore creatures win ties. Unit types. There are cunning units, which have the eye symbol and have high initiative. They act faster than slow might units, which tend to have the lowest initiative. Champion abilities. As commander, you choose your champion's abilities. In contrast, your creature abilities will be chosen at random by dice rolls. Combat dice rolls. Creature abilities are determined by dice rolls. During their initiative, you must roll an attack on their behalf, targeting your front row units. I'm just seeing if I'm just going to have to go through this. You must roll an attack on their behalf, targeting your front row unit. Similarly, when a creature is targeted by one of your attacks, it makes a resist roll to determine how it responds. Whenever possible, ask a nearby player to roll dice on behalf of your enemies. This can speed things up and make battles more fun. Enemy attacks. So first we will, because the enemy is going first, so we will roll an attack die. We will roll a... To resolve it, we will roll a die. It will be a brown combat die. I rolled a 2. We will check the result against the ability list and the creatures thing on the left. A roll of 2 is feed. The hero will take +1. If the incoming attack shows a red damage icon, place many red damage tokens onto your champion. So I take 1 damage. I have 4 health. It has 2 health. I should be able to kill that, right? Some creature abilities have secondary effects. That did not. Some attacks like Pounce specify a target. That means if there were 2 different units, it would choose to attack the one matching its priority regardless of row placement. Otherwise, it targets the front row. That's what's happening. Champion abilities. Unlike creatures, you get to choose the abilities of your champion directly by spending the stamina cost printed on the left-hand side of each ability. At the beginning of each round, you will gain your per-round stamina. Unused stamina is banked between rounds. When at maximum, all of your stamina can be unleashed, typically with a monostone to perform a devastating ultimate. So if I don't use anything and I get up to 5, I can use something called Brutalize. Sure. Champion tactics. During battle, champions can be used during battle, tactics can be used anytime, even during enemy attacks. You can use a tactic in response to an incoming attack, even after you see their roll result. So I have something that says, I have a tactic that says armor up, which prevents up to 1 damage this round. And I have Brutalize, which means damage is unresisted. Oh, it does 2 unresisted damage and inflicts amnesia. So I could pay stamina to use a thing and reduce the damage. I can pay stamina, choose one of my 2 attack options and play the attack cost. Roll for results. The creature will roll resist, and we will check the resist column on the right side of their thing. If a creature rolls high 6, it will take reduce damage. Okay, so I'm going to do, I just do 2 damage. I don't roll a die. So I'm going to spend 4 to use bash the target will suffer -1 to its defense roll. If it's blue, it would take an additional 1 damage. So we're going to roll the dice for the monster. It rolled a 1, which is no effect. So I did 2 damage. So yeah, so I killed it because it's got 2 health. So yeah. Belfry insists to not retreat and continue the assault until either you or your opponent remain standing, but I didn't lose. Damage and defeat. Damage persists between battles on both champions and wild creatures until restored. If a combat unit takes damage up to its maximum health, it's considered defeated. Defeated champions are not dead. They can participate in battle again as early as next decade, as long as you restore 1 or more of their health. Defeated wild creatures are discarded at the end of the battle. So I defeated this creature. You hide the... Okay, defeated it. Victory! Belfry says, that was a long section. I won't be reading all that, Your Grace, but I'm happy for you, or I'm sorry that it happened. Either way, let's just go ahead and say that you won your battle. After all, I'm the one training you, and I have a reputation to uphold. Return all damage tokens from defeated creatures to your storage tray, then discard them to the bottom of the respected stack. Who? Collect and conquer rewards. Now let's connect your goodies. I mean, spoils of war. You will gain 2 or 3 renown for defeating a tier 1 creature, and that means you are ready to ascend your empire. So I forgot to see how much I achieved. I get 2 renown. So I'm going to take this little 2 renown token, assuming that I need it. Belfry insists to connect renown from your personal storage tray and add it to your tableau. Then direct your attention to the 4th column of your house board, which is off camera, and I'm not going to lift it up because everything's going to fall. Of your house board, your empire estate, and the top card there. The leftmost section of the card shows the requirements to ascend to the next tier. In this case, having 2 or more renown is required, and you just got this. The middle section shows rewards. In this case, you will gain +1 loyalty and +1 upkeep. You will draw 1 loot token from the empire tray, and you will fetch a new tier 1 settlement mini from your personal storage tray and add it to your tableau. You will do all of this right now. So do I put this up? Yeah, I do. I put this up. I raised it up. I get 1 loyalty. I get 1 upkeep. I get 1 common item. And I get 1 settlement ready to settle. I've done all of these things. Now I think there's like bigger settlement minis. I think these are actually settlement minis, but I don't know how I would know that. I think this goes. So I can do nope. I don't know how I would know that this is mine, but it looks like this is a settlement mini I can use. It looks like this is a castle that can go on it. It looks like this is a tower that can go on it. But it looks like there's only 1 of each, so maybe that's for our like main settlement or something. But I'll play with those prettier things at another point in time. The rightmost section is a reminder that we advance our empire by rolling it up, revealing a new role with new invest options, and we will flip the topmost empire card and place it on your tableau. This will give you a brand new ability. So I have the Wave Scheme. It's a passive enhancement. I get +2 renown for each full set of 3 scrap in my tableau and black market. I may discard scrap to my black market. I don't know what any of that means, but sure. It's all there. Settle. That new settlement you've unlocked may look impressive on your house board, but it isn't worth any loyalty until it's placed, Your Grace. If you wish to appear like you know what you're doing, settle it now as an instant action. Each human must settle their current location. Place your newly unlocked settlement, which is this, onto the same map hex as your avatar. Then gain loyalty equal to the value shown on the bottom middle of the card. The first value is for tier 1. Oh, that's the settle thing. But I get -1 because it's next to a purple, so I'm going to get 2 loyalty, bringing me up to 5. Your settlement on the map shows everyone that you control that location. Other humans may move through, but not onto locations you control without permission. Decade 2 End Step. Another decade has come and gone, and it seems your empire is finally starting to look worthy. My preparations are nearly complete now, so please do proceed. Income and skill perks. Each human calculates their loyalty, revenue, minus upkeep costs, and collects any remaining money as income. So I get +3 for my loyalty, I get -2 for my upkeep, so I get 1 coin. Boop. Resolve any skill perks you've earned. So I get to identify this item, which is 2 coins. I am very rich. I'm very rich. I'm a rich person. Coronation ceremony. Crown the human player with the highest loyalty. If Belfry still has the most loyalty, read the below section aloud. But I did not have to read that. So because I am crowned, I'm ignoring that sacrifice a worker thing because that was nasty. Because I'm crowned, this is destructive impulse. It is a thing of descent. So I believe that means that Belfry gains 1 loyalty. Decade end step. Crown the player with the top. They may refresh the top cards at any tricks. The crown establishes the next event. Each nemesis gains loyalty on descent. Yes, so it gets 1 loyalty because of the descent thing. Each hero must destroy 1 settlement they control. And I have to do some kind of I don't know, fight against this, I guess. So there's going to be a dice roll for Fist versus the Nemesis. I don't understand this card, so I'm just going to kind of speed through it. And I'm just going to pretend, again, that didn't happen and put it in that established thing. I'm not going to really pay attention to that for now, because I'm just trying to resolve my life. Oh, it says, establish the next event, but ignore its skill check for this tutorial. So yeah, we're supposed to be ignoring that stuff. We will return all workers to their home slots. Boom, boom, be-doom, boom. So this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, and this goes here. Okay. We will recharge any depleted mana stones, but it hasn't depleted. We will advance the brown decade marker to the final decade, decade 3, and we will begin the final decade in a clock tick. It is currently 1:51 into our video, so that is going to be when decade 3 takes place. I'm going to have some more tea. Woo. And we're going to rock and roll this. Decade 3, phase 1 to 3. Strangely, Belfry places none of his workers this decade. In fact, they've all mysteriously disappeared. They've disappeared. Escalating difficulty. This is from Matt. Hello again. Not sure where Belfry has gone, but times are clearly changing. You would do well to consider your options. You have ascended your first tier of Empire, which means Tier 2 is now available to pursue. It could be a good time to preemptively reveal your next creature. However, be warned. Empire Tier 2 requires 6 renown, so you will likely need to defeat a Tier 2 creature, 2 Tier 1 creatures, or complete some quests. These greater challenges and other possible events in your near future may require further military investment. Try picking up a battle item or recruiting a hireling. Or claim a mana stone. Too expensive? Here, take some additional coin. Don't thank me, we're not out of the woods yet. Why am I helping, you ask? Let's just say that I've been around Ascendancy long enough to know that something unexpected can happen, and it probably will. Each player gets 5 coins from the bank. Well, that's... Oh, I did this quest. I defeated a green creature. So I get 2 renown. Great. I forgot to do that before. I wasn't paying attention. That's probably why. Ascend a worker. My apologies for not mentioning it sooner, but ascending your workers is one of the best ways to gain more strategic options. The earlier, the better. In order to do that, you can acquire influence. Your loyalist can claim influence at the academy, or you can buy influence by spending 1 knowledge and 1 skill. You can also buy knowledge or skill from the supply. Buy is an alternative to placing a meeple and can be done in any phase. But I already have 1 influence. You can invest influence. After gaining an influence from the academy district, you can invest into any purple text slot in your house board as an instant action. Because Belfry is not here to insist, investing your resources is optional. But I think I want to do that. Some purple tech slots unlock extra workers at the cost of increased upkeep. New outcasts or laborers gained this way can be used immediately, provided you've unlocked them before or during the phase in which they may ask. Other purple tech slots will ascend your workers. To do this, swap out one of your workers to a higher version, as indicated from your personal storage tray. Keep them in their current action if you already placed them. Tech, head up. History has long forgotten those who fell behind in significant scientific achievement. To maintain a competitive edge, I suggest investing in new tech and equipment. You can invest one knowledge in a blue thing as an instant action. When you invest blue, pick up the whole stack of cards above the blue slot and thumb through the text. You can pick any one tech card that matches the tier of your blue slot and place it in your tableau. Tech cards are permanent upgrades that can do many things. They can enhance existing actions, provide new actions, support your champions, and more. Belfry insists. An ethereal voice fills your mind as the final instruction imposes itself on your will. We will play through phases 1 to 3 as we wish, placing and resolving actions. Phase 4, we must place our mount and Lord Lady in move adventure. Resolve our move to quest location at the center of the map. Then to adventure, we must investigate the quest location, and then we will go to page 92 and follow the directions there. So, I get to do a bunch of stuff, basically. Let me see what techs are available, because I have 2 of these things. So I could get Scum and Villainy, which gets +1 to the number of mercenaries I can deploy. I get Master Builder, where I may only control 1 laborer. Whenever it resolves a build, I immediately claim 1 discarded ore. I can get Gravity Gauntlet, which gives me extra things in battle where I can do stuff. I don't love or understand all of those, so let's see what we have in this Empire stack. Appraisal Dens. Each something or other. Any avatar may identify a thing. Up to any 1 thing, steal 1 from each rival avatar within range. Those are not great either. I don't necessarily love those. I kind of want to see what I can... I want to try to build more of this. But to build more of that, I am going to need more skill. So first, as an instant action, I'm going to spend 2 gold to just buy 1 skill while it's cheap. So I have a skill now. So I can then spend that skill to increase my might to... Where did my token there go? I don't know. Oh, my might was 0. I'm going to spend 2 more gold because I would have had to have done +1 to my might at the beginning of the game, and I didn't, and that was me being a silly McGuddy because I obviously have no idea what I'm doing. Where is the stacker things? So now my might is at 2. Great. So we're going to put that here. Okay. So now that my might is at 2, I'll be able to build a maze again. I need to do something in this first location. I'm going to reveal a level 2 monster. So we're going to do that. Oh no, it's a mermage. And it's the kind of thing that I'm weak against. But I have to just kind of keep working on what I've got here, I think. We are going to go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to take that extra build action here. So we are going to equip this Master Builder passive enhancement by putting a blue thing here. I can only control 1 of these workers, but whenever it resolves a build action, I can claim 1 discarded ore. So I'm going to put this here. It's going to do a build action, which lets me claim this discarded ore. What is that? Is that potion scrap? Scrap glass? Yeah, I have to spend this item that I had as well as 2 ore, but I get a discount of 1, so that's 1 ore, and I have to discard this item that I had. I'm assuming. Maybe it's wrong, maybe it's right. I don't know. But this will then level up 1 more, which will... It lets me get a worker, but I can't get a worker. It's going to, I can relocate any player's avatar to a connected location within one and do amnesia or something like that. So that didn't quite do what I wished, but this, I think, lets me level up my hero. So we're gonna see, that's my assumption. We're just gonna rock with my assumption. So I'm gonna spend 2 more gold. I can't lift it up. We're gonna spend 2 more gold to get a food, which we're going to spend to level up our hero to level 2, which is going to level up our upkeep by 1. And then I think that means I'm gonna get to flip this over into a stronger version. Um, which I'm assuming still has 1 damage on it, but you know, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Right? Right. So we've done that. We still have this 3rd phase to go. I'm gonna need food in order to move to the center thing, which I must do. So this is gonna go. Oh, if I get more quests, maybe I'll be able to do some more wild stuff. If I get more the influence, that's the influence to raise that up, which I can't. That's the influence to change my lord into a lord, which these were backwards. To change my regular duder into a lord. Does that mean I also get 1 reputation for that? Or does that cost 1 reputation? I don't know. We're gonna just quest again because I feel like that's my best option. In a single decade, find a way to move across 2 food on the map within a single decade. Now we'll take this one, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do. We must move an adventure. Is there anything else that I can do before then? I've got 4 renown. I need 6 renown to raise that up again. That gives me stuff for scrap. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I can really do there. I have to spend this 3, all of it, on 1 food so that I can move from here to here on the last phase. Yeah, we're just gonna have to, I guess, see how this goes. So we're going to move an adventure. Oh shoot. We're going to move an adventure. Costs 1 food. And then I must investigate the quest location. Do I get this right away? I don't know. Resolve your move. And I move. Yeah, I do. I claim this. Actually, when he moved to that, I would have discarded that, I think. So I think that goes there. Go to page 92 and follow directions there before proceeding further. Warmth greets you. Oops. Yeah. Warmth greets you as you enter the privacy of the Sovereign campaign tent. Is that right? Go to direction 92 and follow directions there. Yeah, that looks right. Warmth greets you as you enter the privacy of the Sovereign campaign tent. You review the reports you ordered and find a letter neatly slipped within the scrolls. You read it. Pray excuse my sudden absence, Your Grace. You have suspicions, no doubt, and I do not wish to insult your intellect, so please allow me to explain. There is an ancient evil manipulating this realm. For far too long, I alone have stood against it, that is, until your arrival on the shore. You see, for all of my ability, I am only a commoner. I lack the royal blood that flows through your veins. With my experience and your status, together we can defeat this evil once and for all, but it will not be easy. I have included 1 enchanted food with this letter. Eat and rest well, Your Grace. We will all need our strength for the coming battle. If you're playing with multiple humans, each human may choose either option they wish. Option 1, I can claim 1 discarded food from the supply, heal my champion to full, clear any status effects. Option 2, there's no time we march at first light, I can apply haste to a person I control and move proceeds immediately to this page. Haste gives me +2 initiative. And this thing says if I apply 2 good status effects, I get to restore that. So I'm going to take that haste. Yeah. Take that haste. It does say something concerning Belfry, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to read this, but I am. It says, Your Grace, I have finished scouring the archives per your instructions, and I'm afraid I have some strange news. The Archvisor has indeed enjoyed an illustrious career, having served the court of most great houses of Ascendancy at one point or another, but the scope of his influence. Our records account Belfry as having been present in the court of your late forebears, even your great-grandparents. It goes back as far as we can find. Always he has been there. Stranger still is that each account contends him of the same, a patient advisor experienced in the realm and dutiful in service of a freshly landed sovereign. None of the accounts mention the source of his longevity, nor what became of him at the end of his service. I'm sorry, Your Grace. I wish I had more helpful news. We are going to proceed to page 36. Ambushed? Ambushed? Ruh-roh. Suddenly your encounter zone bursts into yellow flames. Belfry has tricked you. Each human sets aside any creature in their encounter zone. Open the sealed envelope for the Archvisor and place his card boss side up, the Mad Vizier. The Mad Vizier next to the map or in your encounter zone if playing solo. So that's going there. It's off camera because I'm playing solo, but here is the Mad Vizier. Great. Okay. Any player who consumed the enchanted food suffers poison. Ha! I didn't eat it. Fetch a poison status from the Empire Tree and place it on your champion. Greetings, Your Grace. Don't you recognize me? 'Tis I, your trusted narrator. I'm afraid that any time you and a nemesis such as myself occupy the same location, the nemesis will attempt to initiate battle against you. Mwahaha! Belfry initiates a final battle with each player. Escape is not possible. Matt's going to tell us that we were not prepared for this fight. Nemesis players are a significant challenge on any difficulty, and this tutorial is no exception. For now, no one expects you to survive, so just do your best. Thanks, brah. Boss battle. Fully cooperative scenarios like this one may culminate in a special final battle with a boss, where all allied human players fight together. Each deployed combat unit will participate. All damage inflicted on the boss by each player is cumulative. Belfry's base health for standard difficulty is 3, or 5 for hard, as shown in the middle of his card. Next, Nemesis bonus health equal to their loyalty, 5 in this example, is multiplied by the amount of players who outnumber them in game. Solo players, he will gain +1 for everything on his track. The resulting is the total health of the Mad Vizier's health. If his max health reaches 0, he's defeated. So his max health is 3 plus 4 is 7. During a boss battle with many players, it can be easier to remember their max health value by placing that many damage tokens next to the boss, then placing them on his card as he suffers damage. Boss attacks. Okay, during their initiative, bosses roll not just 1 but 2 attacks against each allied player, and 3 if you're playing on hard difficulty. For example, during the Mad Vizier's initiative, if facing 4 humans, he would roll 4 dice, 1 for each player 2 times. Yikes. We'll check the first 4 results against the boss attack column, apply any resulting damage to that player's front row combat unit, then repeat with 4 new rolls for the boss's second attack. All other battle rules apply during a boss battle. And then there is victory versus defeat. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so his initiative is 3. My initiative is 3. My initiative is +2 because I had haste. What is pacified? Pacify. 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 Poison. Fatal. Disease. Weak. Subdue. Pacify. Can't attack. Oh, well, I don't want to do that. That's not good. um, if I get to brutalize, then I can inflict amnesia. That's not a good status effect. That's a bad status effect. So I don't really want to do that. Okay, so we both have 3 initiative. I have 5 initiatives, so I am going to get to go first. It is not blue, so I don't do extra damage to it. If I wait to do brutalized, that damage will be unresisted. These dice are not absolutely terrible there, so oh, these things are a little bit cheaper now. Smash costs 3, bash costs 4. I'm just going to spend 3 on smash and try to hit him. He is going to roll a defense die. 1. So he doesn't defend, and he takes 2 damage. Okay. So that's 2 out of 7. I got this. Yeah, right. I'm not going to do anything else right now. And see what he rolls. So first he is going to roll a 5. Which does 1 damage to me and inflicts amnesia. Okay. What does amnesia do? Amnesia. Cannot use tactics. Cannot use tactics. So I can't use brutalize now or armor up. So that sucks. And is that for the whole battle? I guess so. Until I find a way to remove it. That sounds terrible. His second attack is 4. It does another damage to me. So I only have 2 health left. So maybe this wasn't the smartest of things. I get 4 back, so that brings me to 5. The problem here is that I absolutely have no way to do anything better. It sucks. Okay, so fine. So I'm going to, I guess I'll use bash because it gives it -1 to its defense roll. Defense roll is 5, -1 is 4, which does 0. So I do 2 more damage to it. So I only have to do 3 more. I just need him to miss multiple times. I don't see any way for that to happen. His next attack, he's going to do 2. That's zap. That does 1 damage. I can't do anything about it. And then his second roll is going to be a 2, which is zap. That's the 5. That takes out the Dreamer. Defeat. Defeat! Belfry's laughter pierces your spirit as he twists the knife. It stings, but not half so much as the betrayal. Your royal line, your name, your house, it all ends today, and now, ends, an end for you indeed. You think of home, and the thought brings a smile to your cracked lips. You summon a final breath, and whisper, there is another. If there was victory, which there wasn't, I would have been able to get a legacy reward. Well, that was unexpected. Congratulations on completing the tutorial. This achievement of the first generation of your great house should be recorded on your ancestral ledger now. As for your next of kin, their story is just beginning. You may open the Twisted Spintress secret envelope. Both of them are permanently unlocked to be included in any scenario. For your next game, you'll need to read the entire Reference Guide for complete rules and be ready for anything. As you pass control of your house to your next of kin, you must decide as a group which scenario to tackle next. The player who led this tutorial may fetch one of the following legacy reward cards, which will unlock the next scenario and be added to that player's starting tableau. For another fully cooperative game, we can fetch the Twisted Spintress, or for a competitive base game, we can fetch Loyalty of the People, which is recommended. But I don't think I can pay. Can you play a competitive game single player? I don't know. I guess those are things that I'm going to have to. Yeah. I could play it single player with 2 nemesises. So I guess that's what I will do next. But I'm going to obviously have to organize this box. I'm going to have to read a ton of rules. I'm probably not gonna. We'll see. I don't think I'm gonna review the next thing. I need to figure out a way to keep these trays in better shape because they're flopping and flying all over the place. But I have a lot of questions. The game looks beautiful. It would look more beautiful if I didn't have the warping from these trays. And I don't know. I don't know if other people are gonna have that problem or if it's just me because I have warp issues with everything. But yeah, I'm gonna delve much more into this. And Matthew, Mr. Meeple, if you end up watching this, please, 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 in the comments, tell me all of the things that I have done wrong, of which there are many, because this is massive. For now, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, don't forget, keep those health bars full, unlike House Rasputin and the Dreadfest. Have a fantastic evening.